What's up, guys? It's Tom back here from Crypto Life Inc. Hope you guys had a great New Year's. This is our first video of 2022, and today we're going to look at Terra Luna. We're going to do a little review, and let's jump right in and see what this project is about. Woo! Okay, so I am on the Terra Luna website. So what is Terra? We're going to have a little brief look at the actual project itself, and then we can have a look real quick at their white paper, and then at the ecosystem, and also some of the governance, and then you guys can decide for yourselves whether you think this is a good project, and I'll also draw a little conclusion too. Alrighty, let's start from the top. So this is the Terra Docs page, and this is Terra Protocol. So let's briefly look at this, and then we will make a distinction between what Terra and Luna is. So it gets a little bit confusing, but I will make it real simple for you guys. So the Terra Protocol is a leading decentralized open source public blockchain. So when people refer to Terra, they're actually talking about the blockchain, all right? But there are also algorithmic stable coins on this blockchain. So they're also referring to the stable coin assets themselves as well. So that is a brief summary of what Terra actually is. When people go, they're referring to Terra. It's a stable coin that tracks the price of fiat currencies. So it's pegged to fiat currencies like USD, UST, so the Korean won, for example. Users mint new Terra by burning Luna, right? So this is how the algorithmic stablecoin actually works, through supply and demand, which we will mention later. Now, when they talk about Luna, the Terra Protocol's native staking token that absorbs the price volatility of Terra. So that is what Luna is. It's the native token on the Terra blockchain. So Luna is basically used to help with price volatility. It's used for governance and for mining. So you can also use it to stake validators, which are block producers, and to verify transactions. So it helps with the governance section of this blockchain in exchange for rewards, obviously. So that is the distinction between Terra and Luna. Alrighty, now that we understand the distinction between Terra and Luna, let's quickly look at expansion and contraction, which is how this coin remains stable, which ties into their algorithmic stable coin protocol on this blockchain. So to put it simply, it's based on supply and demand. Obviously, the algorithm plays a role in this, and they coin these terms expansion and contraction, right? So expansion happens when Terra's price, so like a USDT, let's use that for an example, is too high relative to its peg. So it's $1.1 to $1, let's say, for that instance. So the supply is too small and the demand is too high. The protocol incentivizes users by burning Luna to mint Terra. So this will decrease the total amount of Luna and create more USDT, right? And that would mean that now it's going to become less valuable because there's more of it, but Luna's price is actually going to go up. And this is one of the reasons why there's an actual use case for this particular stable token. And you can do this with any other pairing as well. And also the opposite applies, which is the contraction. The reason why this stable coin asset has so much value is because the more people that use these tokens, there'll be more demand and the price of Luna will go higher. So that is actually one particular reason why it would attribute to some of the rise of the Luna price. Now let's take a brief look at the governance model of this blockchain and how it all works. So basically, the consensus mechanism for the Terra blockchain is proof of stake blockchain, but technically it's really delegated proof of stake, and I'll explain why I call it delegated proof of stake. So yours truly used to be on EOS. I used to actually be part of a crypto company that was a delegated proof of stake on EOS. We were one of the backup block producers. I think we did do some actual blocks during my time there, but that was another life. But basically, this is the same system. So they have validators, which are people with a lot of Luna tokens that are staked, right? But then you can also vote by basically staking your tokens and becoming a delegator and sending them to the validators, or putting it behind the validators, and then they'll have a bigger pool, and this will be represented right here, which is where all the validators are, and there's a maximum of 130 on this blockchain, and then you can also make commissions, which will be literally seen as block rewards here. So you can see the different percentages, 5 to 10%. Okay, gets a bit less there, but yeah, and this is the dashboard, and then these are all the validators there. So that's actually how their blockchain governance model is set up. And obviously these validators or block producers create the blocks. They approve the transactions on the blockchain itself. And that's just a simple explanation of how the validators work. And as I've explained, the delegators are people who can basically just vote using the amount of Luna tokens they hold and put it behind a selected validator and get a proportion of whatever they put in as some rewards for their staking, essentially. So, as we previously established, the Terra protocol incentivizes the validators and delegators with staking rewards. Now, where do these rewards come from? They come from the fees. So they come from the gas fees, stability fees, which is the arbitrage, the expansion and contraction we talked about earlier, and then also swap fees. So they do have the fee for swapping stablecoin denominations is called the Tobin tax. Okay, so that's just what it's called. Exchanges between Terra and Luna are subject to these fees, and there's also seigniorage fees as well. Now, where is that bloody term? Let's have a quick look. Calculus, please stop it. Okay, here. Yeah, so there is seigniorage fees, which is one of the long-term ways that miners can be compensated for stable rewards. Now, what is seigniorage? It is essentially Luna burn. So now that we have a pretty good understanding of how the Terra blockchain works and the function of Luna in that blockchain, let's have a quick look at the ecosystem itself, why it's so bullish, and why there is such a good potential for Luna to increase a lot in price as more and more adoption gets driven into the Terra network. So it is a mouthful, but let's have a look. There are three main protocols that are very, very bullish for the adoption of Terra. I'm not going to go through all of them. There's literally, we could be here all day. But when we go through, let's have a look at Chai. So Chai is in South Korea. It's basically just like a payment app or payment gateway, something similar to like Stripe or PayPal, but for Koreans, right? And they've already got 2 million plus users. They've been using this for 2 years now. And essentially, its discount amount, basically, this is translated by Google, so this is in Korean. This barely makes sense, but it's different because you're different. Okay, great. Thank you. Whatever that means. Daily discounts, to be dumped. Not exactly sure what discount they're talking about, but I can show you one benefit of a possible discount they could be referring to, and definitely have been applying. So you can see the fees on Terra Luna are 0.1%. That's by default, or capped at 1%, and this is way less than traditional, say, e-commerce payment gateways, which charge around 2 to 3%. So you're already shaving off discounts of 1 to 2% just there from the transaction fees alone. So this is why they've already got 2 million users, and as we've already established, the more people using the Terra stable coins, the more Luna is going to get burnt, and the price is going to go up. So it makes more sense, and this is like one of the two reasons that Luna can basically moon. More people use the Terra, the stable coins attached, the stable assets, or more people buy Luna itself, right? So it's a no-brainer. If more people use it, it's just going to become more valuable, and the price is going to go up. So basically, you just want to look at this project and see, are more people going to be driven to adopt it? And if the answer is yes, then the price is going to go up. And this is basically the opinion that I have for this particular project. Now, if we look at Mirror and Anchor, let me pull out my notes real quick. So Mirror protocol allows the creation of fungible assets, synthetic assets, that track the price of the real world assets. So basically what this means is you can buy like it mirrors like actual assets. Like it can actually mirror ETH or gold or any other kind of real world asset that is of existence, right? So what does that mean? It means you can buy meth, right? Mirrored ETH. You can buy drugs on the internet. No. What it means is you can actually just buy fraction a fraction of a certain asset. So you can buy a fraction of gold, you can buy a fraction of, I keep saying meth, but it's okay, ETH, and so on and so forth. So that's another positive use case for using the Terra stable token system as well. Before we move on, you can see all the assets you can buy. So you can buy stocks in Apple, in Airbnb, Amazon, etc., right? You can buy a fraction of that, and then you can see the premiums on them as well. Okay, so if we move on to Anchor, it's better savings. Essentially, it's like a really good bank for your stable coins, right? So one of the other unspoken about adoption cases for Terra is that it applies to so many different people, right? And I'm just talking geographically, like all the other stable coins you've got, like USDT, Binance, USD, USDC, all that kind of stuff. It's always in the US dollar. Now, Terra Luna has like currencies in a lot of different countries, different country native currencies, and they also have the ability to just create, different pairings as well. So that's like, and you can see like, they've got 2 million people from South Korea already, and they could get people from Europe, from Australia potentially, and this is all going to add to their adoption, right? And then you've also got, once you've got your money in the stablecoin system, you want to store it somewhere, but also make some interest on it. So most traditional banks barely give you any interest at all, like 0.5%, maybe like 3% if you're lucky. Well, these guys with the Anchor protocol are doing 20%. So it's basically like staking your USDT on like a staking platform like crypto.com or something, where you can earn some yield, but they've got 20%, which is like bloody high. It's pretty good. So definitely would recommend checking that out if you are already on the Terra Luna system and you want to just make some easy gains. It might not be like this forever, but it is currently at just under 20%. So it's pretty high. So this is just a couple of reasons why I'm pretty bullish on the Luna ecosystem. There are a couple of inherent flaws and worries, but we can address that in another video. If you guys want to see that video, leave a comment in the description, and then we can look at some of the risks of, say, algorithmic stablecoins, for example. Anyways, let me know what you thought of Luna in the comment below. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace, bye.